Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, greetings! Recently, I shared with you corruption within the Republican Party in the form of Arizona State GOP Chairman Jeff DeWitt having to resign after being outed for having attempted blackmail and bribery on Kari Lake. The corruption doesn't end there. Many of you may already know this, but nepotism is alive and well in politics. Ronna McDaniel, who is the niece of failed presidential candidate Mitt Romney, being caught saying that former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy won't see a cent, is finally, according to reports, looking at resigning. Previously, Mr. Ramaswamy has called on McDaniel to resign due to her failed leadership, as an example, diverting funds to campaigns which were already slam dunks rather than spend on hotly contested races that were neck and neck and could have used that extra push. Her leadership has seen Republican candidates as a whole lose in 2018, 2020, 2022, and 2023. Under McDaniel's leadership, Republicans losing what was being speculated as another slam dunk in the form of the red wave in 2022 led to Kevin McCarthy being removed from his role as Speaker. The Freedom Caucus wanted accountability from McCarthy, which he refused, expecting a significant increase in Republican representation to secure his power. McCarthy's removal is probably the only benefit, though most probably an unintended consequence of McDaniel's failure. If news of her departure is accurate, it won't come soon enough. 6 February 2024, RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel to step down after South Carolina primaries report. McDaniel is longest-serving Republican National Committee Chair in modern history. By Greg Wayner, Paul Steinhauser, Fox News. Ronna McDaniel's tenure as chair of the Republican National Committee may soon be coming to an end. But an RNC spokesperson is denying a report on Tuesday that McDaniel would step down later this month. The New York Times reported on Tuesday evening that McDaniel, the longest-serving RNC chair in modern history, told former President Donald Trump that she would resign after the February 24 South Carolina Republican presidential primary, according to two people familiar with her plans. And sources added that Trump would likely aim to promote North Carolina GOP chair Michael Whatley as McDaniel's successor. But in a statement to Fox News and other media outlets, RNC spokesperson Keith Schipper said nothing has changed. This will be decided after South Carolina, Schipper added. The South Carolina primary is the next major contest in the 2024 GOP presidential nominating calendar. As he's moved closer to securing the Republican presidential nomination, Trump's been ramping up his calls for changes and new leadership at the GOP's National Party Committee. The former president met on Monday with Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel at his Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, sources confirmed to Fox News. Trump wrote in his Truth Social platform following the meeting that McDaniel was a friend, but that he would be urging changes at the RNC after the February 24 South Carolina GOP presidential primary, which is the next major contest in the Republican 2024 nominating calendar. Ronna is now head of the RNC, and I'll be making a decision the day after the South Carolina primary as to my recommendations for RNC growth, the former president wrote. In an interview that aired Sunday on Fox News, Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo, Trump said of McDaniel, "I think she did great when she ran Michigan for me." The former president pointed to McDaniel's previous tenure as chair of the Michigan GOP. "I think she did okay, initially, in the RNC. I would say right now, there'll probably be some changes made," he added. And in a Newsmax interview on Monday, when asked if it was time for McDaniel to step down, Trump replied, "I think she knows that. I think she understands that." McDaniel was nominated by Trump soon after his presidential election victory in 2016, and she won re-election in 2019, 2021, and January of last year. While she ended up easily winning her last re-election, she faced a vocal faction of far-right detractors who viewed her as too close to the party's establishment wing. She's also come under plenty of criticism in recent months over the RNC's finances. Alarms are ringing over the party's fundraising heading into the general election. The RNC ended 2023 with just $8 million in cash on hand, less than half as much as the Democrat National Committee. But as Fox News Digital was first to report, the RNC did haul in $12 million in January, its best monthly fundraising haul in the 2024 election cycle. And Trump, who is the commanding frontrunner for the Republican nomination as he bids for the White House a third straight time, was angry at McDaniel and the RNC in recent months for holding GOP presidential primary debates, which he skipped. When she won re-election last year, McDaniel said in an interview with Fox News that it would be her last two-year term steering the National Party Committee. The rival Democrat National Committee took aim at both McDaniel and Trump in a statement. Ronna McDaniel is reportedly the latest American to lose their job under Donald Trump, DNC spokesperson Alex Floyd argued. Whatley has been a strong supporter of Trump's repeated unproven claims that his 2020 election loss to President Biden was due to massive voter fraud. While Trump holds plenty of influence over the Republican Party, there may be opposition by some of the RNC's 168 committee members to naming Whatley as chair if McDaniel resigns. In a separate move on Tuesday, RNC Chief of Staff Mike Reed announced in an email to committee staff that he would be departing at the end of the month. But Reed is leaving for a new position in the private sector that he accepted months ago.